Hello, this is Diana. This is my Trailblazers of the Universe YouTube channel. On my channel, I'm helping you fearlessly and unapologetically live your best, most authentic life. I am helping you break through your barriers and transcend any limitations you may have. If that sounds good to you, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. So today's inspirational message is, are you going to create hell or heaven on earth? So we see all the changes that are going on this planet. There's a lot of chaos going on. A lot of crazy, what even appears to be catastrophic events. There's a lot of things that are really taking a lot of emotional energy out of people, putting people in fear, grief. I look at the state of hell and heaven as a state of consciousness. You can literally create your own heaven or hell, right? I would know. As someone that struggled with addiction in the past, and mental health issues, and just traumatic events, some of these things were self-induced, some of them were not. But I know what it's like to be in my own personal hell. And it's not fun. But the good thing is we have the power as spiritual beings having a temporary human experience that are powerful creators to create our own reality based on where we're focusing our energy. I did make a recent video on all is mind, what's poisoning your mind. It's a good thing to think about, because if it's poisoning your mind and all is mind, it's poisoning your reality. And look at all the things in the world that are trying to poison your mind. What we consume consumes us. For me, when I was in my personal hell, consuming substances that were not good for me, that were very toxic and addictive, created a personal hell, along with me not knowing how to cope with emotions and not doing healing work on myself, not having self-love, being in a trauma response. Things like that can create your personal hell, right? Because now your mind isn't right, the way you're feeling isn't right, then the way you're acting isn't going to be right, right? You think a certain way, you feel a certain way, and then that drives you to act a certain way. So we have to be conscious of the kind of world we're creating inside and on the outside. And remember, the outside world is a mirror of what's going on inside. So this is on a personal level and on a collective level. So on a collective level, when you see all this chaos and destruction and evil going on, right? I consider it like a manifestation of the shadow side of humanity. And we all have a shadow side. But we have to balance our light and our darkness. Too much darkness consumes you. Too much light blinds you. That's why shadow work is very important. When I was in my own personal hell with addiction and mental health issues and all the things I was dealing with, family issues, miserable with jobs, I didn't have a purpose. You know, in order to get out of that personal hell, I had to make more conscious choices. I couldn't run on autopilot. Now, am I saying I'm in complete heaven right now? No. But I will say I've done a lot of work on myself to create a sacred space within myself, to feel safe within myself, feel stable within myself. Doing that inner work, doing that shadow work, doing different healing modalities, learning how to cope with emotions. Energy works helped me a lot as well. And even learning to do that myself so I can administer sessions. I went to holistic rehab. I did certain things, right? I consciously had to choose to try to get closer to having my reality be a heaven than a hell. Energy flows where your attention goes. So if I put more attention on healing and things that are going to improve my life, consuming things on a mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual level that are healthy for me, that are going to help me evolve, that are more positive and uplifting, of a higher frequency, then my reality shifts to match that frequency. But it starts within. It's an inside job, like I always say in my videos. The more you prioritize your well-being and release toxic things, attachments, and even set boundaries with people that are not good for you. This goes on external level too. Your daily habits, your routines can help create heaven on earth. And the inner work you do, think about the Hermetic principles, the law of cause and effect, right? Every action you do, even every word you say, feeling you have, ripples out, right? Everything's connected. So any inner work that you do on yourself, or any work you do to improve your life, is going to have a positive effect on the world around you. Instead of emotionally reacting to all the crazy chaos going on in the world, you go within and you focus on what you can control if you want to create heaven on earth. And then also working together. So first you got to create heaven within yourself. And then that affects other people around you, right? And when you're around people, you uplift people. You have a higher vibration. You're helping people maybe. You're speaking positive things to existence. You have a positive attitude, positive mindset. I'm not saying it's all love and light, be positive all the time. That's not what I'm saying. But if you would shift your focus to things that are going to help you evolve rather than things that are going to destroy you and poison you and not lead you to where you want your life to go. If we all prioritize our well-being and focus our energy onto things that actually serve us and the things that we do want that are more in alignment with our highest self, optimal timeline, best self, whatever word you want to use, we would see a change in the world. If people focus more on harmony and working together, we would create heaven on earth. But what you see is division, anger, grief, people in fear. There are forces on this planet that seek to divide us and turn us against each other so we don't work together, so that we create hell on earth instead of heaven on earth. Imagine if we worked in harmony. We accepted that we have differences. We accepted that we've all been programmed at some level to even destroy ourselves and one another. If we put that to the side and prioritize our own well-being, and we work together, and we don't judge so much, and we don't need to fight somebody or argue with somebody or hate somebody because they're a different ethnicity, they're a different political party, they're a different religion, just because they think differently, different culture, different way of being, then we would see more of heaven on earth. If we seeked to create more peace and harmony in our lives, within ourselves, do the healing work, do the shadow work, we would see more of a heaven on earth. If everyone worked to help heal themselves and the world around them, people stepped into their purpose, follow their passions more, we would have heaven on earth. If we respected nature more, if we didn't destroy so much of our environment, we would have more heaven on earth. If we had more balance on this planet, everyone embodied balance more, the feminine and masculine energy, everyone has masculine and feminine energy, we would have more heaven on earth. And your subconscious is listening to the words you are saying. Speak what you do want into existence. If you're constantly spewing negativity and drama about what's going on in the world, I know it's kind of hard what's going on at the moment in certain parts of the world, but we need to be mindful of the timelines we're focusing on, because we're giving energy to realities that we don't want. When information is being fed to us through these social media apps or the news or wherever, TV, articles, things like that, the more we give those things attention, the more we are creating hell on earth. The more we're giving catastrophes, war, negative events, viruses, right? Sickness, anger, grief. When we're giving all these things more attention, you are creating hell on earth collectively, where we're all focusing on these thought forms. Shout out to Solomon King, who talks about the egregores all the time. That's the world we're creating, or I want to say creating, shifting to. So you're shifting to that timeline because you're giving more energy to that timeline. Your mental and your emotional energy, based on whatever frequency that is, that's shifting you to that reality, right? That's why I talk about balancing darkness and light. You be aware of the darkness, but also aware of the light. Give energy to the light as well. There's divine order and chaos. Everyone's on their own journey, right? Sometimes you need darkness to find the light, to see the light. It's needed to keep balance. You can't avoid the shadow side, but we don't want to be consumed by it. So, if we want to create heaven on earth, we need to focus on love, harmony, collaboration, working together, unity consciousness, healing, peace. Group meditations are very powerful as well. If you meditate in a group and send peace and love energy, healing energy to a certain area, that's very powerful. An area that's struggling, we need more people doing those kind of things. We need more people following their purpose, following their passions, and also releasing attachments to things that don't serve us. What keeps you locked in that lower vibration? attachments to things of a lower frequency of our pain or trauma, even of anger. We want to focus more on forgiveness rather than anger and resentment. Peace and harmony as opposed to chaos. Give more energy to those. Put more love out into the world. Doing things to raise your frequency. If everyone did more to raise their frequency, and I did make a video not too long ago about ways to raise your vibration, so check that out as well. Basically, that's a lot of it's being mindful of what you're consuming on the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual level, right? Even the foods you're consuming, the TV you're watching, the music you're listening to, the people you're surrounding yourself with, what kind of frequency are they at? Where is the frequency of your thoughts and your feelings, right? So we have to shift our focus and also find what brings us joy. Follow your joy as well. Any action you're taking, any word you're saying, thoughts you're thinking, feelings you're feeling, just be mindful. Is this serving me? What am I focusing on right now? Because that is going to affect what's going on in my reality, and it's going to basically either create heaven or hell within myself, and then also that affects the world around me as well and the people I'm interacting with, because we're all connected. So this is just a little video, a reminder to just be more mindful and conscious of the kind of world you are creating, the inner world. That is what's going to reflect in the outside world. So let's be more intentional and mindful of creating heaven on earth as opposed to hell on earth. That's all I have for today. If you like this content, hit those like and subscribe buttons. I also have a Facebook group, Instagram, TikTok, and 2 podcasts. The links are in this video description. I also offer coaching. If you need intuitive guidance to motivate and support you on your spiritual healing and or self-improvement journeys, my contact information is in this video description. Have a good day. Namaste.